All right, so I'm back in the shop today. Zach is rigging ailerons. Gus is relaxing over there. And so what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna work on, I remembered yesterday there are a couple blocks I need, a couple mounting blocks for some clamps. For the, one is for the fuel hose as it comes down the right sidewall. The other one is for that facet pump as it comes up the sidewall. Where it's going to go up and into the instrument panel. I need a block about halfway so I can mount a clamp to that. You know how it's been through the build, I prefer not to mount directly to the airframe but to a separate piece added, so I'm going to do that. And then I've got some grommets that I'm going to install up here that are going to come through, is where the 1/4" tube for the static system will come through there. And yeah, we'll see if we can get that knocked out today. All right, so I got these holes drilled. That's a 7/16 hole. That's for this this grommet here. That the static tube, which is the same as these 1/4" black tubes right here, will come through there. It's a double piece, so I've got a hole on each side. There's one there, one in here. And then I was just getting ready to put these blocks on. I was gonna urethane the inside today, but since I forgot about these two blocks, what I'm gonna do is get these on. And what I did is I figured out the location of this one. This is for a bracket that's going to hold my fuel line as it comes from approximately somewhere in here. I made a little mark, but it's about in here somewhere. It's going to go from here down to the gasculator, and that little mark right there will take care of that. And then up here where you can't see, spot meter for a second, where you can't see is where the facet pump goes, and I've got a little block here that's going to go just halfway between the pump and the top here, and that will allow me to attach a clamp that's going to hold the wires that are coming up from there and capture those. So I've got to get that epoxied in here, and that's just going to go just somewhere in the middle, so no problem there. And there are some other wires that will travel from the front that are going to go also back to the panel and to the bus bar and all that, but I'm going to wait until I get the engine before I actually drill those holes. So what I'll do is I'll drill the holes, seal them up maybe with some thin CA. That'll be a really fast way to seal the edge of them, and then put some grommets in there, and then that'll be all good. So I'm not as much concerned about the firewall because I just have easy access to it here, and those will go and run up to the top, and then they'll come in by the top, and then they'll just run all the way back here to this hole, which goes into the instrument panel. So yeah, but these two need to be epoxied in place. So since that needs to happen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rudder pedal situation figured out here, and what I want to know is the distance between these two brackets, because this I have to mount my 12 inches, so I've got to put the screw eye holes in here, which are going to account for the screw eye that the springs for those rudder pedals mount to, and they're basically in this region right here, just forward of this member on the bottom here. And so what I want to do is I'll get the center line, and then I'll come off 6 inches and 6 inches, and then I'll have those springs just going straight back from the where they are on the rudder pedals. So I'm going to go ahead and drill these 2 holes. I'll just get a measurement for myself off of this center line, 12 inches apart, centered up. I'll move in enough so that I have room for a nice washer. Probably well, I'm not exactly sure what I got, but I'm sure I got a stainless washer. I've got that stuff right here. It's been hanging out in here for a while, so got some cable clamps, got my springs, got these 2 guys, and a couple nuts for those. And so it looks like I'll just use a maybe a 970-3. Probably just use one of these on both sides, and hope there should be enough thread there. Yeah, that'll work out great. So I'll use 2 of those, and so what I'll do is I'll just leave myself enough room to get that washer in there, and then I'll be all set. And then the other thing that has to happen here with this part, I should save that bag. I'll put all that back in there. Is the pins actually go in. I cut them off a little bit so that they actually start and stop here, and then the hinge needs to be drilled through on each end to take a cotter pin, and that'll keep the center pin in place. So I've got both the pins cut now, so they fit good. But now that I know what I need to know, I'm going to go find that center line, and I'm going to drill those 2 holes, and then no need to install anything at the moment. I just want to get the holes in place, and then I'm going to actually start by putting some urethane on the whole back section. I've got it all ready to go, and I can go ahead and do the top side here as well, and I could do the bottom side here, and then when the epoxy cures, I'll do the instrument panel. These will actually be ready to urethane, so I can do that as well. The headrest is ready to urethane, so I can do that, and all of these fuselage parts. So it'll be good to get started on that. And wow, it's a lot of jabbering and not much working. So let me get to it. All right. All right, so I got the mark there, and All right, so we just got a line there, and then I'm gonna leave about at least a 1/16 of an inch. At least a 1/16 of an inch on the other side of here. Maybe I'll go an 1/8 actually, so I make sure I've got plenty of clearance. So about an 1/8 of an inch on the other side of where my bottom cross member is. So that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. Let's see how we did. Nine 16ths. And 9/16. Pretty calibrated. Won't get a hole in there. More. That's it. All right, so I'm ready to begin here. I'm using the Urethane Ultimate Spar Urethane, just like I've used before when I sealed up the inside of the wing and all that. So I've thinned this out. So the first coat, everything's going to get 2 coats. First coat is a little bit thin, so it soaks in really good. And then the second coat will be full strength out of the can. So I'm sure that you don't want to watch me paint. I think that would make for a pretty boring video. But I'm gonna paint for a while, and then after a while, I will just come back and check in with you. You know, this is the hard part, because when I'm painting this this mahogany, it looks so beautiful, and in my mind, I know in the end it's gonna get covered. So, but anyway, I will I'll check in with you soon. All right. Okay, so I urethaned until well, a couple of things. I did it until I was kind of tired of it, but that's just that's the next step. I mean, you got to do it. So I realized that, and so I know I have to work through it and get it done. I'm gonna put this first coat on, and then I'm gonna actually sand it where the outside. I'm only gonna sand the outside surfaces where the fabric will attach, but I'll get that smoothed out, and then you can see I've got basically this one section at the bottom. I got the whole top section here. Sure makes some beautiful wood. And I just did a little bit up front here, and just got basically the top and sides of all of these horizontals and diagonals in here. Verticals and diagonals are horizontal now, but they're actually verticals. And then I did the instrument panel. Got the first coat on that, on the whole thing, the inside, the back, and all that. And then the very last thing I did was I went ahead and put these 2 small blocks in. I've got one right here, which will be for the mount for the field tubing, where it goes down from here down to the gasculator. And then I've got one for a wire tie right there between the facet pump and basically this member right here, and that's where we'll tie into to come over to this hole here. So yeah, all right. So as always, thanks for hanging out with me, watching the videos, commenting, and for all the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. This is my attempt to show as much of this Minimax process as possible, so that for anyone who follows after me, they have a reference. You know, it's not an absolute step-by-step. It's my method of building, and it's how I do things. You know, everybody has to research and do things the way they think is correct. And I mean, there are principles that I'm following that are, you know, written in the EAA has a great book about building wood aircraft, and so I'm definitely following those principles. They're in the build, definitely. But anyway, yeah, so welcome and thank you. And hey, you know, I will catch you later.